Hey y'all, it's Kyle from TheTruth is Out. Just bringing you another video today. Did you know that paying taxes is actually voluntary? That's right, you heard me right. Paying taxes to the IRS is actually voluntary. It's actually a voluntary contractual process between consenting parties, which is you and the government, the IRS, and can't be compelled on any individual. And I'm actually quoting that from John W. Benson's ebook called Taxation by Misrepresentation, The Truth About Income Taxes in Plain English. So, how does this whole thing work? Well, you might be asking that yourself right now, but I got you. By voluntarily, which most of you didn't even know, submitting your IRS Form 1040, you're actually annually affirming your status as a 14th Amendment citizen. Now, as well as the 15th Amendment, the 13th Amendment also goes with the 14th Amendment. All three of those were made during the Reconstruction era, but this is in history class, so we're going to focus on just the 13th Amendment. Now, the 14th Amendment, made during the Reconstruction era, mainly to deal with freed slaves, newly freed slaves. There's the 13th Amendment, which prohibits involuntary servitude, which is basically involuntary slavery, so slaves. But the 13th Amendment does not prohibit voluntary servitude. So by you submitting the IRS Form 1040, you're basically voluntarily becoming a wage slave for the IRS and the government. So there's the loophole right there. The Internal Revenue Service has a loophole that they get to use, which is your voluntary servitude by your submission of the IRS 1040 every year. Damn, I've been had. They're lying to me. They're stealing my money. That's what you might be thinking right now. It's true, you've been had. I'm such a fool. You are a fool, you slave of the government. You fool. Now, some people say that. I'm not going to say that. Because the IRS purposely covers up and writes their codes and regulations, and they do their procedures a certain way to cover up this truth. That way they can further intimidate you and coerce you into paying taxes. So most Americans don't even realize that by submitting the IRS Form 1040, they now have to pay the taxes because the government owns your labor. They own the compensation of your labor. But if you were to not submit that IRS Form 1040 at all, then legally speaking, you would not owe the government any taxes whatsoever. But let's go ahead and say that this year you already submitted your IRS Form 1040. Now, to be honest, you're screwed. But you didn't know until now. So at this point, the federal government owns your labor, they own the compensation of your labor, and they can rightfully take that compensation of your labor as they deem necessary and reasonable, because you are now a 14th Amendment citizen. You, by submitting that form, have affirmed that you are a 14th Amendment citizen, and you are now a wage slave of the government, all because of one form, 4 numbers. This is called your application for contractual benefits. But everyone knows that if you don't pay taxes or you don't file your taxes and submit that IRS Form 1040, you're going to get a late night door kicked down by the IRS teams, who, by the way, are now trained with AR-15s, the same rifles that Joe and Jane American can't have, but yet they get trained in it for standoff purposes with slaves. I mean citizens who don't want to pay up their taxes. So back to what I was saying. The IRS and law enforcement agencies will come in and kick your door down in the middle of the night, early morning, whenever it is, and they're going to take you to prison, as well as fine you for not submitting the form, for not paying, whatever their deal is. But legally speaking, you can get out of it if you have the time and the money and a dedicated lawyer. But I wouldn't suggest that you just straight up stop paying your taxes, because one person isn't going to do much in a nation of millions of people. We need hundreds of thousands, or if not millions of people, to all together band together and stop paying these taxes, because you're voluntarily saying that you're a slave to the government and the IRS, and that's wrong. You are a free American, but not really, because you just signed it away. Now, if you have any questions about this, first I'd say look up the 14th and the 13th Amendment. Other than that, comment or message me and ask me your question. Hopefully I can answer it for you. And thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Go ahead and comment below, like, subscribe for more truth videos. I'm going to be bringing you things hopefully every day. If not, I'll try to do 2 or 3 or whatever videos every week. But for sure, 1 a week will be coming your way. It just depends on, well, how much truth I got to expose, which is a lot. Also, go ahead and check out our other videos. We have a few other videos, and of course, more to come. Also, check us out on Facebook. Like our Facebook page. We post all the videos that we have here up on YouTube on our Facebook. We also do different polls and questions and just everything on Facebook that you could possibly do, we're going to start doing. So that's facebook.com/TheTruth Is Out America. Aloha.